Hi, guys. This week we're going to be looking at websites and evaluating a particular website. So, I want to kind of take some time to talk to you about why this is important and how you're going to do it whenever you do this assignment. So, first off, anybody can make a website. And if you think about that, you guys just made one and have published it. So, keeping that in mind, anyone can just put up information and publish it to the internet. So, it's important that we evaluate websites to make sure that the information that we are getting is reliable and something that we definitely can use. So, on Moodle, you will see that you can get this paper that you're going to use. It's on your week 5 sheet. You're going to download this particular paper. And when you download it, it can open up. Mine just downloads here, but you want to, I like to drag it to my desktop, and when I open it up, then I can see that I can write on there. So I'm just going to write my name and I can go forth. So you're going to come up with your website. It can be a website of interest to you and with the theme of your particular website that you are making for the semester. If you're having trouble picking a website, I have a list of them on Moodle that you can use as a reference and pick one of those. So you're going to fill out this complete source while you are doing it. So we're just going to kind of go through and so that we understand. So look at me. I put the name of the website being my name. Silly me. I'm the reviewer. But you're going to put the name of the website, the URL, so that I can go visit it. And contact information for the author. Is this an online form, an email address? So when you are on this website, it's important to see if you see any contact information for the author that of the website you chose. Is there a way to get in touch with the author? That just shows whether or not it's reliable and the author wants to be contacted. And that's why on all of your sites at the footer, I've asked you to put your contact information. So, is there special requirements for this particular website? The easiest way to test this is to look at specific browsers. So, run your website maybe in Chrome, and then go run it in Safari or any other website, Firefox, any other browser to see if it still looks the same and it still works. Are there plugins that you need? Many times it will tell you that you need, if there's a game or an interaction or something or a presentation, you have to download or have some sort of plugins. So just kind of look through that, or the videos or audio files or the PDF files. Remember, you're taking a deep dive of this website to determine the reliability. The next thing is, what do you think the purpose of the site is? So, kind of look at it. It could be more than one thing, but what is the purpose of the site? And if it's not listed on here, then please just explain and identify. So, this super important when it says to write a brief overview of the site. Super important. Write about the site. Let me know how it could be used for K-12 students for learning or for your profession, what you are actually doing in your for the theme of your website. So the next part is really going to be digging deeper to make sure that it's reliable, accurate, and definitely something that we could use a good source. So you're looking for that author again. Is it identified? Is the author's qualification suggested? You're just kind of digging deep, and it really just go through these steps and put a check mark or an X where you see these. And then you need to write a few sentences explaining. For instance, you may say, yes, there is a comment section a contact section on the bottom. Many times you'll find it at the bottom footer, or maybe there's a form that you complete, but you're gonna write that down. Next, we're looking at the publishing body. Look at what the site is sharing, the words on that site. Do you think it's a leader in the topic? Does it make sense? Does it reside on the official website rather than a a personal site, just kind of dig deep and decide whether or not the publishing body, the people who are publishing this particular site, is reliable. Gone through. So, do we see any bias information? Are there advertisements? Is it political? Um, is it something that's trying to convey a direct point of view? So, you're going to write a little bit about that. Do you feel as though the site information is factual? I always tell my students, younger students, that if you can't find that in 3 places and 3 sources, then I'm not real sure it's factual. Looking for spelling and grammatical errors is a big sign that maybe this is a spam site. It's not a good site. So, once again, write a little bit about that. Um, the next is the currency of the site. What's the date? If it was, published in 1992, is it still accurate? Is it still up to date? Does it show when it was last revised? Just keep going through. Are there any things that say that it's under construction or 404 messages? And please write a little bit about that. Sorry about the dogs in the background that you're hearing. It's real life, guys. Okay, so now we're looking at the interface, and this is really looking at the marketing part of it. I want you to look, is the text easy to read? Is it appealing? The navigation, is it easy? To me, this is very opinionated, but it lets you know that, but if it's easy on the eyes and it's nice and it's easy to go through and read and do the assignments, then it's a reliable, or the design is good and they've taken time, so maybe we can rely on the site. Go ahead, please, and write some about this. Okay, accessibility is probably the trickiest, and I'm going to show you some of this when we upload this assignment, what they mean by accessibility. But the first thing is the site free to access, which is super important. And then all the graphics found on this site have alternative text. And I'm going to show you what this means whenever we get there. This can be done in 2 different ways. It could be done with little tags, or it could be done like with just wording under the text. And I'm going to show you that. And then, does it load quickly? It could be frustrating if it does not load quickly. And hold on to that accessibility short thought. I'm going to show you. And then, would you recommend it, and explain your recommendation? So you're going to write that. So I'm popping back over here to kind of show you a few things. So this is just a little information on accessibility. And accessibility means that everyone has can access it and see it. So for example, here is a video, and under the video, it gives you a link or description about the video. Um, this is important for people who are blind, because they have programs that really read all of this to them. And if they can't see what's on the screen and there's nothing under it or explaining what this is, and I'll show you about an alternative text. I'm going to show you how to make that on your sites. But if there's nothing explaining it, then they completely miss this resource, and the technology doesn't pick it up. So this kind of tells more about web accessibility, and I will put this link in case this is of interest to you and you want to look more. But it really makes you think differently when you're creating your site. You can see here's another YouTube. It kind of tells what it is, but it makes you think differently about it, because people have different disabilities. But also, not only that, slow internet connection, and that can be a big frustration if your site is not set up that way. So, with that said, once you have all of this complete, you're going to file, and I like to just save it to my desktop if you haven't done that. And then I'm going to X out of it. I'm going to go to my Google ELRC folder. I'm going to pull this over to it. Something that's very important, and I've explained in the paper and everything, so you are aware, you need to change the sharing settings. If I have to email you to remind you, there's going to have to be some points off. So just please, 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 please do this. So when I highlight it, I come up to the plus sign, that's the sharing. And see it says restricted. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to change it to anyone with the link can get this. So I'm going to press done. And so that's real important. Just change it to anyone with the link. If I check on it again, you can see now that has changed to anyone with the link. So now I'm going to go to my site. I know that I need to get another page on my tech project. So I'm going to go to pages. Here's tech project. I'm going to add a sub page and it's called web evaluation. If I could type today. Okay. Excuse me. So here it is. And now we're going to embed it. So we're going to go to insert and I'm going to pull from my drive because that's just easier. I find my folder and I'm going to scroll down and here it is. And when it comes up, yours is going to be complete. You can pull it out. You see how I'm just pulling it? I'm going to X out of this to skip my way. And I can now pull so that I could see. And I'll be able to scroll and actually see it. So here it is. And so one way you can consider accessibility is I'm just going to add in a text box. And I'm going to say link to, what is this, website evaluation. And then I could actually take, when I share it, I could actually copy that link and then put it here. And that's one way of accessibility, okay? You don't need to do, oh, what am I doing? I'm moving too fast. You don't, this is not part of the assignment, but it's something to give you, it does create this accessibility. So I wanted to share. Another thing is I'm going to just pull this image I have. Whoa, that's not the one I want. Pull this image here. And one way to do alternative text. So when I do alternative text, I just come here and I put add text and I give a description. So I'm just going to write what it says. We innovate what's your superpower. And this is something I'm doing at school. So you can see that I have that on. Now I'm going to show you what it does. So I'm going to press publish. Remember, it's so important to publish. This page is not published. Let's see what I did wrong here. It's so important. Oh, I didn't publish that one. Okay, we're going to publish everything. It's so important to press that publish so I can see it. So here we go. I'm going to preview my site so that I can see it large. And when I come down, here we go. I see everything, which is great. I have the link. But then when I click this, let's see, it should have, when if you had a program, it will show up that alternative text. So that's what that is there if you had a program reading it. But this is how it's going to look when you're finished. And let me just make sure I tell you one more thing. Why correct? I don't want to mess up anything, but when you after you do this, you also need to upload a screenshot to Moodle. That's super important. So that tells me that you're done with the project and I know to look at your website. And you could see here's a grading rubric that will explain how I will grade. You can kind of tell just as long as you complete these things, which are all on this paper and this is completed, then you will earn your points. If you have any questions, you know how to get in touch with me. Have a great day.